This is the show your college professor warned you about. Prepare to be triggered. You're listening to The Patriarchy with Ian and Sal.
What's happening, fellas? This is episode 35 of The Patriarchy Show with Ian and myself, Sal. How's it going, Ian?
I'm doing good. Hanging in there.
We got a pretty good show lined up tonight. I'm excited.
I don't know. Your microphone sounds kind of stuffy. You can hear I haven't done this in a week because I'm always sick. But at 10 o'clock, actually, that's why we started a couple minutes early, because at 10 o'clock on the dot, adult film star Mercedes Carrera is going to join us. So, and we will be talking to her about all things porn, I guess. I don't know. So how's porn? I guess it's good. This is a good time.
I don't think...
It's like, how's porn? Well, I've been doing it for years, and I hate it. Even though I have a college degree and all this shit.
You have a college degree in porn? I
have a college degree in porn. I have several. Yes, man, we have a lot to talk about. We got a new writer on the website. She's been firing out articles like a madman or mad woman, and we got Nipplegate, where a Trump troll got bully-sided off of a Twitter and the internet. We got a lot to talk about. We got the UK election coming up, so Jack Smith's going to join us later on.
Yeah, we have Jack, we have Mercedes, we have stuff going on.
Worst intro ever.
And Hannity and Fox News.
Oh yeah, Hannity, Fox News. That was our scoop.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I was a journalist.
Yeah. It's called journalism and ethics and such. And what have you. So did you raise any money for those dogs?
Yes. Yeah. This past weekend, when did I start that? On Friday, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. I volunteer at a dog rescue, and they're inundated with dogs and vet costs and this and that, and they're starting a fundraiser. That's
right.
How nonprofits work.
Right.
And since Friday, we've already raised about a little over 10 grand.
10 grand! Woo! Hopefully 10 grand for dogs. Hashtag dog right.
Yes, and we can talk about that too today. The dog right.
The dog right. Because that's the new thing. It's like there's so many movements and splintering of movements occurring right now on the right. It's fascinating. I mean, you have everyone from is McCain even on the right? I guess he would him and Lindsey Graham would be the most liberal.
I would think so.
Right.
And some of the so-called journalists,
right,
never Trumpers, are kind of
exactly. And then you have comedian right wingers I guess Anthony Cumia, Pat Dixon, and then you have journalist right wingers. Yeah, it's just the expanding movement, and I like it. A lot of people turning from the left, turning from liberals because of the anti-free speech. It's great.
I agree.
I mean, you had David Rubin. He was a big time liberal. He was on the Young Turks for a while. He's all about, what is it, classical libertarianism or liberalism or whatever they want to define it as. But free speech, essentially, being able to say whatever the fuck you want.
Now, do you know his story?
Yeah, he's gay, and that's it. That's all I know. He's gay and has a show.
I'm just wondering what led him astray from the Turks.
The Armenian genocide. That could have something to do with it.
The denial.
You killed millions of people, guys, and you keep not talking about it. The genocide did happen, Sal. It's that one. Uh-oh.
I like that one. If a genocide
Yes,
did happen,
I made it myself. Let me see here. Let me check in here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. And I'm trying to forget. Dude, my computer is I have like 3 screens and there's updates all over the fucking place, and it's driving me insane. We need the producer. Anyone want to intern? info@newmediacentral.net. That would be fantastic. You get no college credits, and I'll supply you with 3 Red Bulls a show.
That works.
You gotta be high energy, Sal.
I sound high energy right now, don't I?
We both sound miserable. I sound miserable. I don't know why. I mean, being sick and all and diseased, kind of fucking blows, and being in constant pain. Today was a pretty bad day, to be quite honest, but I'm happy now that we're doing the show. We're about to talk to some interesting people. We're going to... What happened? Actually, there wasn't I just saw a report on Breaking 911. There was a shooting at the Orlando airport, an armed man.
Oh, Jesus Christ, again?
Yep. Orlando. Armed man.
We just had a shooting at a Patterson nightclub.
With Patterson, New Jersey? Well, of course. Well, that's the thing. Patterson, New Jersey, nightclub shooting, you expect it. It's like finding shit in your toilet. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's supposed to be there. But if you find shit on your table, a shooting at an Orlando airport, you go, hey, something's up. Is that a mean analogy? I saw that somewhere. I can't take credit for that.
I don't understand how there can be a shooting at a nightclub at 5:30 in the morning.
I can. In Patterson?
Yeah.
Oh, please. Of course. Can you hear me? I'm just trying to make sure everything's working right here. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted.
Yeah. Well, I think we both are. We're like, worst intro ever. Boo. And people are just listening to us for the first time. It's like, these guys suck. Well, yeah, but not this bad.
We have some technical issues. We'll be good.
Yeah. Well, again, last week we had the live echo. I'm sure it's echoing live again. I can hear it. I'm starting to hear it again. So that's fantastic.
And now our guest is on.
Hey, Mercedes, how you doing? With us joining us is Mercedes Carrera. How you doing?
Hi, I'm great, guys. How are you guys?
We are fantastic.
Wonderful.
So I just want to thank you for joining us. For those that don't know, who live on the rock, Mercedes Carrera, she's an adult film star, lover of TikTok. I read some of your bio. It says you like to play video games and chess.
Yes, that's true.
And that you founded a charity that involved scholarships in STEM, and that you had family members that were in the military.
That's all correct.
That's all correct. I just want to make sure, because you never know. You go on Wikipedia, you go on all these sites, and it could be BS, it could be not.
Yep. No,
so I get it from the source.
True. Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. So that's why I wanted to have you on, especially, it's the day after Memorial Day. You had family members in the military, and you do a lot for military vets. Do you want to explain a little about what you've been doing for veterans?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Memorial Day is something that I definitely want to talk about, because it's it's one of those days where people forget. Everybody wants to go out and do the pool parties and get drunk. And I on the one hand, I'm like, I know that the guys who died recently will want us to celebrate our freedom. And on the other hand, I think it's important to take a couple minutes and really remember what the day's about. It's not just a 3-day weekend. And a lot of really good men and women have died, but especially men, proportionately. So, or disproportionately, I should say. And then in terms of what I have going on, I'm actually launching a site, and it'll be up in the next week or so. So I'll be able to give out links and stuff like that. But I'm actually doing a porn website, an adult film site, where I am having only U.S. military veterans as male talent. So the guys are amateur, and it's really cool. I mean, because I get a lot of emails from these guys who've been deployed who say, hey, your work got me through a deployment, and a lot of them have the dream to either be in a porn or fuck a porn star, whatever.
Right.
So I thought, well, let's just do that. Let's just make that a reality. So that's going on there, and then on top of it, I just bought 82 acres of land that we're turning into a full permaculture op. I have 2 partners in it, and it's the goal is to turn it into a fully sustainable live work farm with the interest in bringing in male veterans, homeless veterans.
That's amazing.
That's great.
It's really cool, and I think it's gonna help. Help, and the plan is if it goes well, an intern there, and we're right now we're in the middle just breaking ground to get construction going. So we're gonna put barracks in, and it'll be awesome because it'll give guys either they have experience on the land or they don't, but somewhere to live and somewhere to grow their food. And I think getting back to nature really will help with a lot of PTSD that we're seeing.
Yeah, and that's the big thing when a lot of our guys are coming back, and women, of course, coming back with PTSD. What's the suicide rate? 22, 23 vets?
22 a day.
22 a day.
It's insane.
I don't know. I don't understand how we allow that when we have thousands of other government programs, but vets are shooting themselves in the head in the parking lots of the VAs.
It's actually here. Talk about truly deplorable. Here's your deplorable. It's right there, and nobody wants to talk about it. If they made as big of a deal on veteran suicide as they do, if every time one of our guys, and it disproportionately affects men. It's mostly men that this affects. I think that's part of the reason that we don't hear about it, because there's a lot of vilification of men right now. So. If a bunch of guys, given what's happening right now politically, it's like, oh, well, good. A bunch of white men are killing themselves, so fuck them. That's kind of the mentality that's coming out of the fucking government. So I think, and this is why it has to start at the grassroots. We have to start saying, how do we employ people? How do we create spaces for people to live and to be successful? Because it's not coming from the VA and it's not coming from the government.
Right, and that's the optics, is that a bunch of white men are killing themselves who came back from war. Who gives a shit? When the military, from what I understand, has a lot of Latinos in it. Actually, more.
Oh yeah.
There's plenty of minorities in the military, but it's like a white guy thing for some reason.
Yeah, it's true, and a lot of the suicides are men who aren't white. It's just that the perception of it is that, and so the government doesn't care because they're making it out like, oh, all those 2A, gun-toting, dangerous white men, the patriarchy, and they don't understand. Like this is why we have waterways and electricity. Is your fucking patriarchy. So I'd like to see what happens when we take that away. You'd end up with women would be sitting helplessly in piles of feces, like complaining because their iPhones don't work. And this is the fucking reality. This is sorry. So. And I've gotten in all kinds of trouble for saying that, but I'm going to say it on this show because I know you guys don't care.
We don't give a shit.
Yeah,
please say it.
It's true, and this is part of why we don't hear about this, because there's like this thing where we expect them to be so strong and go to war, but the impact of being in war, the impact of the day-to-day life, the impact of that kind of structure, and then you throw people back into this dysfunctional society where they go from order and structure to, hey, everybody's a Zir and a Z and nobody knows who the fuck people's genders are and who the hell is everybody, but don't offend anyone.
Right.
No wonder these guys are fucking blowing their brains out. I mean, this is what they're fighting for? I don't think so. So it's not getting better. I think we're starting to see the tide turn politically, and I'm hoping that that's the case. This is why podcasts like yours exist. But we still have to push back, because on the top level funding, it's all this feel good shit. I mean, they're putting money into the military to have these guys march around in fucking high heels, but they can't address the suicide issue. Yeah,
march around in high heels. You can't shoot at mosques for a while if they were shooting at you.
Yeah.
My best friend died in Iraq. My childhood friend. Some of the listeners know that. He died in 2004 in Al Anbar.
I'm sorry.
Sal, our co-host, his brother died in 9/11. So this stuff not only obviously impacts the person, it affects the good friends, the family, everybody, and nobody seems to give a shit that this is occurring.
Nope.
Fuck, man. You know, I'm so sorry to hear that for both of you guys. My condolences. And this is the thing, though. You know, we live in this disproportionate society right now. We have an active threat. I mean, I don't know how many more bombings we need to have, like this case in Manchester, before people get their heads out of their fucking asses and realize what the hell's going on. This has been an ongoing thing. I mean, we're looking at a whole generation of war. More than that, if you count the first Desert Storm. So
Right.
This is not a new threat, and really great men are dying in these wars, and they come back to absolutely no valor or glory because our government says, "Oh, you're a killer, and we're taking your gun away, and here's some antipsychotic meds that make you want to blow your brains out."
Right, yeah. Here's some Prozac, here's some Xanax, and pat you on the head and have a good day. And that's essentially what the VA's been doing.
Yeah.
The suicide rate isn't going down by any means.
No. I mean, I think it's starting to. I was reading a stat that it peaked, I think, year before last, and so it's starting to get addressed. And I really think a lot of it's political climate too.
Yes.
I mean, the last 8 years has been hopeless for people. Talk about here's your hope and fucking change. Yeah, it's been hopeless for most people. Anybody who's working class, anybody who's really living in the real world, not behind the fucking gate in Malibu somewhere,
Right.
but in the real world, has looked at the economy, has seen it just go to shit. While the immigration takes up, while all our money is being siphoned out to either wars or to support non-productive members of society, yeah, that's why these guys are blowing the brains out. So I think there's a resurgence right now in the Trump America and all of this that I think people are starting to say maybe there's some light at the end of this tunnel. But I think for 8 years it really wasn't like that. So we'll see. But I still think it has to come. The help's not going to come from the government. There's only so much they can do. There's some great people who work at the VA. I mean, the people who work at the VA, a lot of them are really fantastic people. They're just overloaded.
Yeah, there's not enough funding. There's not enough help. There's too much bureaucracy. My best friend's parents, what they did, they started a charity to continue on his mission. It's called Heart of a Marine Foundation, and
cool.
they just got a bunch of computers in for brain injured vets to help them. It's the best that you can. These poor guys are getting hit by IEDs, and they're left to their own devices.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And this is where what happened. One of my partners on this farm is a vermiculture expert. So what happened was we've been talking about creating this farm for a while for different reasons. And when this land came up, and I didn't expect this to come so quickly, but it was just a fucking great deal. And I had to just get on it. And so the plan has always been, and it fell in our lap. Now it's accelerated because I'm looking at all this land going, God, we can house so many people. We could have this fully sustainable grow up. And I think part of the transition and a lot of the vets I've talked to is just you're being thrown back into this dysfunctional society from an environment of order. And it's just too fucking much for a lot of these guys to handle. And they're not able to take command from some asshole at some civilian business. They're just not going to do it, so they can't function there. So you got to, I think being close to the land is really wonderful for people, and I know it's always helped me a lot. Hoping
when you get that started, send me the stuff so I could put up on the website and everything, because that's I want to promote that. That's huge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's these things take years and years to set up properly.
Yeah,
we're doing it right, but we're gonna do beekeeping, and my hope eventually is to have equine therapy, because if anyone who's been around horses will know that horses teach you so much about yourself, and I think it's a really soothing, great thing to create for a bunch of men. And it's going to be a male-centered project. I mean, I'm on the Patriarchy Show, so I could say it. It's a men-centered project because homeless women have tremendous amounts of resources available to them that men do not, and that's the truth.
Yeah. Well, on every corner, there's a battered women's shelter. There's a single mother shelter.
Yep.
Where's the vet shelter? That really doesn't exist.
No, and it's because it's easy. I've been living in LA. I'm privy to a lot of these people. I have a lot of bullshit nonprofits too, but a lot of them are women this and children that, blah blah blah. And if you really get into it, 80-90% of the money goes to quote unquote administrative fees. So a lot of it's a big fucking hustle. But it's an easy heartstring to pull at, and they can get a lot of government funding if they make it women specific or children specific. But if you say, hey, I want to do a male specific live work farm, I mean, you're going to have to go through the agriculture groups and stuff. Nobody wants to, there's no heartstrings for men. And it's a fucking shame. I mean, I'm driving through LA these days, and I'm seeing homeless veterans on every street corner, mostly men, largely white or Hispanic. So, I mean, and you tell me again, where's the fucking patriarchy here? I don't see it.
Yeah. The patriarchy has been, because of the destruction of, our society and our culture, and people just hacking away at us, the patriarchy, has, there's MGTOW, men going their own way, and organizations like that, where, the people retreat into their rooms and that's it,
Right.
Like these poor vets, they come home, they just saw their best friend disemboweled and were being shot at, and then you're going to put them in a sales job at a desk? Like, that's going to work.
Yeah. Or they're going to the universities on their GI bills, and they're being assaulted by Antifa and being told that they're part of the problem, and they're being told they're not allowed on campus that day because of either male or race or combination thereof. And it's like, so this is what we're doing. These guys went out and actively saw their friends die, actively were in danger, so that you fucking shitheads can put fucking swastikas on gravestones. I mean, it's like I can't even believe this is happening. It fucking blows my mind that this is where we're at as a society.
Yeah, we're more concerned. So, this is a society. We're more concerned with safe spaces where college kids can go, and a lot of time there's state universities receiving Pell Grants and state money and federal money where they get Play-Doh and crayons and all this happy shit. But in LA, you drive down the road, there's homeless vets on every corner. Where are our freaking priorities?
Yeah, well, and if you call about, see, like, and I can say all this, nobody can say shit to me because I'm a Hispanic female,
right?
And I'm technically biracial. I mean, I got every fucking card, so whatever, fuck you. And this is a common thing. People are, they'll say, well, you can't say this thing. Well, I can, and I'm the first one to say it. Like, look, like my family, they're not white people, but I saw actively how it started in probably the 80s. This active destruction of any sort of male strength, male attributed strength, what it's done to the society. And you look at these Antifa kids, and they're a bunch of fucking pussies. And they think that they're going to go to war. They're going to have a societal, I don't even know what they call it, a society war, a race war against a bunch of combat vets. They're insane.
Good luck. Guess who has all the guns? The right.
They're crazy. They're crazy. I mean, they've literally, they're the embodiment of weakness, but then they want to fight with strong people. And the only reason they haven't got their asses kicked so far is the government has maintained the law and order that we get to benefit from as a society because of patriarchy. Because it's from patriarchy that you have these rights. You don't have rights in matriarchal systems. That's the fucking truth. Everyone wants to say that. But everybody's like, well, we have law, we have order, so you can't just go kill the Antifa kids. But if that breaks down, those kids are fucking tomorrow's compost.
Yeah, because I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, a lot of these cops are ex combat vets. A lot of cops are right wing. Yep. So if they start going, you know what, fuck you, Captain so and so, I'm arresting these people. Then what?
Yep, exactly. And this is why you're starting to see some of that where the cops are kind of standing down. And this is just the tip of the iceberg on this. I mean, I don't think people understand that the only reason this has gotten as far, I mean, they're like insolent children. And they're absolutely, you cannot reason with people who don't use logic. And again, logic, traits of the patriarchy. This is why they fucking hate patriarchy, because it points out to them how illogical they are. And so all we can do is sit back and hope they burn themselves out. But if this shit continues, they're going to have a real social civil war on their hands, and they're not going to win it.
Right. And they're basing all their arguments on experiential feelings and such, whereas you're saying the patriarchal, male-minded logic, and it's and these two ways of thinking, with all these presuppositions and all that, are clashing. So you got one side feelings, the left, the anti-fa kids, and on the right you have men, logic, and all that built Western civilizations with. We're eventually going to roll right over them if that thin blue line falls apart.
Oh, absolutely. And patriarchy, look, logic and order and strength, these things will always win. This is, again, it's like this whole matriarchal, it's no surprise that as soon as you started to see mostly female academics in the 80s and 90s take over academia, oh my God, everything became irrational. fucking shocking, right? That a bunch of female boomers, a bunch of fucking female baby boomers are teaching kids, but oh my God, the kids are coming out uneducated and irrational. No shit. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? You put a bunch of women in charge of rational systems. This is what you get. You get fucking Antifa. Well, let's all just have a feelings day and like, let's not teach chemistry. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm in STEM, and or if someone's in STEM, they have to take a feminist dance therapy class or some bullshit. Like, what's the point of that if you're going to be a petrol engineer?
Oh, and I had that back in the late 90s when I was in college. As it was already, I had to take some stupid, and look, I'm Hispanic, and they made me take like some sort of like Latino studies course. And I'm like, at the time, I majored in engineering. The last thing I need is to write a bunch of stupid papers on Latino history. If I want to read about Latino history, then I'll do it on my own. And I'll do it in unbiased fashion. I don't need your fucking bent on this because you guys are all hopped up on your, like 30 years too late revolution. Fuck you. But this is what's happening in the schools. And that was in the late 90s. I can only imagine 15 years later how absolutely terrible it is. Because that stuff was bleeding in for the last generation. And this is why these kids are so irrational. You can't blame them. Exactly. I blame them for having had lives that are so easy that they are unable to understand that reality is unkind and it's unemotional and the strongest person will win. And that's how this goes. And I think this is why you're only still seeing this mentality like in the military and actually some of the kids who grew up in rougher environments.
Right. Well, that's the hope that these professors in these universities only have like one kid. And then they send that kid to college and they don't have any kids. Hopefully, the patriarchy and strength eventually will outbreed them. I mean, you see this in the Middle East. You see the stronger, more male-dominant societies outbreeding the weaker societies. It's happening in Germany right now.
Absolutely. Well, in Europe, I mean, look at the defense ministers. There's a picture of all the defense ministers of Europe. All these women, all these fucking female bureaucrats with 10 IQ points between all of them, standing there and clapping, and they're going to sing Kumbaya with all of the invaders and how lovely for all of them. And meanwhile, thank God we have General Mattis. Because you can't run civilizations like this. You can't do it. It's just what it is. It's absolutely amazing to me. Every time there's a goddamn attack in Europe somewhere, we're going to sing Kumbaya. We're going to change our fucking Facebook profile pictures. It's all lovely. And at the end of it, these people learn that there's absolutely no consequence. And this is a very female way of thinking. Well, let's not have a consequence. Let's have a timeout and sing a song. Okay, well tell you what, let's turn off the waterways, and then instead of turning the waterways back on, we'll sing a song about how water's great. Let's try that.
Yeah, that obviously worked. And what's happening now in the UK, I'm the editor chief of newmediacentral.net. Sal's the managing editor. We also run a website. We have a UK branch. We have a representative that's going to be on after you. He's saying that what the polls are saying after the Manchester attack, that the left is actually gaining a little bit of steam in the election, which is insane.
They're not. They're not. I lived in France for a short period of time, so I saw it firsthand. And while I was there was a big case that happened where they had this guy who was a migrant. He was an African migrant. I don't know if he's Muslim or not, but he was a migrant. And France is overrun with migrants. So these look. The other thing they always talk about is in terms of IQ. A lot of these people are like sub 80 IQ. Like there's not much you can do to fucking teach people who are functionally retarded.
Yes, they're like 70, 75 is the average IQ of Atria or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these people are literally like fucking cave people, right? So yeah, gee, what do you know? Like they didn't invent the wheel. I'm shocked they don't understand the legal moral system of Europe. Shocking, right? So this guy fucking he raped some woman in Paris. They put him in prison. They had some sort of kumbaya therapy where they held hands and sang about how rape is wrong, and they let him back out. Well, what do you know? The fucking day they let him out, he rapes and then kills some other jogger in this Central Park in Paris. And it's like, and everybody's fucking shocked by this. And I'm sitting in France going, these people are fucking retarded. Like they're becoming as retarded as all of their invaders. Because what the hell did you think was going to happen? This guy got 6 months for raping this woman. No shit, he fucking killed somebody. Shocking.
Yeah, the same happened in Norway. A male Norwegian politician was raped by a Somali Muslim migrant, and you know who apologized? The Norwegian male politician, because he was upset the migrant was going to get deported.
Shit.
This is what we're dealing with in Europe. That's a matriarchy.
Yeah,
being overrun by a patriarchy. A dumb patriarchy, but a patriarchy nonetheless.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point. You know, Europe was the highest bastion and model of progress and intellect, and this is why Europe conquered the world. This is why. It's just how it is. Oh no, strength won again. That's unfair, racist, and patriarchal, whatever. It's the truth. And look, most of us with half a brain in our head. I'm a Hispanic female. I am lucky and grateful that I was born into that society versus fucking being born into the jungle somewhere, which is even worse. And nobody wants to deal with it. So now we've got these fucking retard invaders that will breed out Europe. And you see it when you're in Europe. Like, people get there, they get a free apartment or free house, they have 10 kids, and in, I don't know, 50 years, Europe is going to be gone. Forget it. It's over.
Well, the Libya bomber, his parents were, refugees. They lived on a council estate for free. He bought the bomb-making equipment with student loan money from the government in the UK.
Yeah.
You can't make this shit up.
And the thing is, look, what is it going to take for people to realize, look, no matter what you give people, again, matriarchal thinking, well, let's just give them more. Let's give them more education and we'll give them more money and everything will work out. No, it doesn't work that way when you're dealing with people who are hell-bent on destruction, either because they have such low IQs they don't understand. If they blow up the society they emigrated to, it'll just become some shithole that they left, which is what's going to happen for the most part in Europe. It's already happening. Women are like, well, they just need more education. Look, I grew up in the fucking hood in LA for half of my life. I also grew up outside military bases, out in the desert for the other half. I lived in meth head. So, I've lived in some pretty bad places in my life. And one thing I'll tell you is no amount of government funding changed the behavior of people. It doesn't change anything. The people have to change because they put in all these. When I lived in one of the bodies, they put in all this money into this art center, and it got graffitied. Right. The whole thing was fucking graffiti. So it's a waste. That matriarchal line of thinking is what has destroyed Western civilization. It's just what it is.
And it's going to continue to be dominated by dumb inbred retards from the Middle East because strength can overcome that.
Yeah, because people don't understand. At the end of the day, fear is strength. Like, if women in Europe are walking around afraid of being raped by Eritrean migrants, then guess who's in control of the situation? Not the women. So whoever's feared the most is the one who wins. And this is where Europe cornered the rest of the world for years, and it worked. Everybody was fucking scared shitless for good reason, because at any point in time, a flotilla could come in and fucking destroy everything. So guess what? Europe wins. And that's what created progress. And now we're all like, oh, well, that's not, well, you just got to let them rape you. Like, fuck you.
Just piss yourself while they're raping you, and maybe they'll stop.
Well, did you see the bracelets? Clearly the bracelets are going to the major deterrence.
A whistle. No, a gun. How about a woman carry a weapon? So if a man who is much stronger than her, it's fucking biology. Let's stop living in La La Land. Tries to rape her, we can shoot him. But no, because of the restrictions on the Second Amendment, we can't allow that. Yeah, well, that's that old saying is, God made man and woman, but Sam Colt made them equal. And that's the truth. So no amount. Oh no! Let's put a Kumbaya bracelet on. Like, maybe it'll light up and it'll have like a little spinner on it with an LED that says, "Please don't rape me. Please don't rape me, Mr. Immigrant Man." This is fucking insane. Like, this is why I'm so glad America at least has gone the way it went. And I think part of it, I was at this event with a bunch of Marines yesterday. In celebration of Memorial Day, and I'd say 50% of people there were Hispanic. And I think the one thing that's actually helped America, ironically, is that most Hispanic people like Western civilization, or Western civilization minded. It's not like immigrants from the Middle East. They have a different mentality. And so most of us become very libertarian or conservative after a generation. Like my mom's family, a bunch of fucking liberal idiots. But next generation out, me and a lot of the cousins have become very conservative because we've seen just how society has collapsed in our lifetime. Well, even Latin American countries, at least there's that foundation. Even if it was colonialism, there's still that foundation there. There's still those genes there. There's still all that there coming from Europe. So there's still that there. Yeah, no, it's absolutely. It's still, the civilization is still kind of a patriarchal mindset, and we're lucky. Like, even in Southern California, a lot of my friends are Latinos and they're
they're conservative or libertarian as fuck. So I think this is why you're seeing Trump's America, you're seeing things tip back the other way, whereas Europe, it's just too far gone. They're a bunch of fucking pussies, but everything over there. Oh, I mean, I don't even know how many conversations I have with friends with the death penalty. Oh, it's so awful. I mean, I learned all of these political words in French so I could argue with people about the death penalty. Because literally, because I was like fucking aghast at what the hell was going on. I was like, after being there like 6 months, I was like, get the fuck out of here. This is insane.
Yeah, well, after the Bataclan, they didn't know they were so confused. They were like holding their heads, like, I don't know what to do now, France. We arrest them and that's that. Like,
yeah,
no, make an example of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, no, you know, I was talking to someone today, a good friend of mine. And I was like, look, part of the problem is that there's no penalty. Again, like repercussions are patriarchal. It's a logic-based structure. If I turn off the water, there's no water. So, hey, if the policy was for every time you bomb us, we're going to round up 50,000 of you and either kill you or deport you. How about that? I don't care. Men, women, and children, like 50,000 of you are going to fucking die. You know what's going to happen? They're going to stop fucking doing it. But right now, it's like, well, we're just going to change our Facebook profile and sing a song and light some candles and feel sad for a day. Well, yeah, then they're going to keep fucking bombing you dipshits. What do you think is going to happen?
The incentive is there for them to want to come over here. They have a high chance of crossing the Mediterranean and getting through Turkey because Turkey's part of NATO. And then once they get into a EU country, they can fucking go wherever they want. You know, free reign.
But the irony is that they're coming here because Western civilization, patriarchal white male Western civilization, built this structure that's fucking amazing. And so they want to come leech off of it, not understanding that eventually it'll collapse. And then it's going to be the same fucking shithole as Mosul or whatever. Like, it's just stupid. And this isn't a low IQ issue, too. So you're dealing with IQ, inbred people over generations, with low IQs, and who have no understanding of, like, because they're tribal. And if there's a system I love called spiral dynamics. They don't teach in the colleges anymore because it's considered to be racist.
Of course.
And it's not racist. It's not. It's culture based, whatever. And people who are tribal people behave the way you're seeing. Like, that's all they understand is like this homogeneous behavior. Like, everybody's got to be part of the same fucking tribe. And they're extremely volatile unless they're in a homogeneous situation. The problem with that is they don't integrate. They just kill everything in their path. And they don't understand resource management because tribal people tend to live in a communal fashion. So you're taking people who literally are stuck in like Europe's fucking, I don't even know, like pre-Roman Empire mentality, and you're trying to insert them into modern society. It's not going to work.
Well, people in Pakistan, I think the last stat I looked is there's 70% are inbred in some fashion, first cousin marriage or something like that. So you're going to have terrible disabilities. You're going to have low IQ as a result. You're going to have all sorts of genetic issues. And they're going to want to blow themselves up for Allah. And like you said, and that's another thing, resource management. People with higher IQs know how to do those sorts of things. People with higher IQs, they can wait off. They don't need that instant gratification that a lot of these lower IQ cultures need. So they, a lot of the lower IQ cultures, they see something shiny, they need to get it, and they'll kill to get it.
Oh, absolutely. Look at Dubai. Dubai is a case in point of this. Like, here are a bunch of fucking retards who happen to be sitting on a goddamn gold mine of oil. So what do? They build a bunch of shiny buildings that spontaneously combust because they're so stupid. They don't understand. You're in the middle of the fucking desert. You put mirrors on the fucking thing. Literally, you end up with these death beams because of the reflection, and the fucking things get too hot and they blow up. And then they're spending all their money on Lamborghinis, but they can't do resource management, so they have to fucking abandon them on the side of the road because these people shouldn't even, like, they barely had the fucking wheel when we showed up. And we're like, hey, that oil's worth something, let's give you money. And they're like, oh my god, we're gonna build tall shiny structures and fucking buy Lamborghinis. They're retarded. It's stupid.
Well, when they run out of the oil, they're fucked in a couple decades because we're fracking. We have alternative energy. When they're done, they're in big fucking trouble.
Oh yeah, and I hope that comes sooner than later. I mean, it's a fucking shit show. These people don't deserve to like. Luckily, they're just throwing the money right back into other countries because they have to hire German engineers and they have to hire fucking Filipinos to come build the buildings, and they have to buy cars from Italy because they're incapable of producing anything themselves. This is where they're at. So they have to consume. You see it all over like social media. This just consumption, this disgusting consumption that's coming out of these super wealthy little pockets in the third world. And it's not sustainable long term. They could have created a utopia for their own people. There would be no reason for Muslims to emigrate to Europe if all of that money in Dubai and in the Emirates had gone toward creating a civilization that could have benefited all of them.
No, but shiny things, Mercedes. Shiny things. They need the shiny things.
Those are buildings that blow up that we have to hire Germans to design because we're too stupid to do it ourselves.
Man-made islands that sink. Japan can make man-made islands. The UK can make man-made islands, but they do, and they kind of fall apart.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
It's fucking hilarious. And again, but you have to look at the trajectory of civilization, and the evolution of technology tends to mirror social progress. So like, for example, when the printing press was invented, suddenly we needed a set of laws to mandate free, whether free speech is acceptable. I mean, all of that stuff wasn't an issue until people started writing down their thoughts and disseminating it, right? And so our civilization had all this time to iron out these issues. Like, how do we feel about people talking about God or about the government, and what are we going to protect and what's okay and what's not? These people literally didn't have that. They had tribal structures with like a local tribal head, and that's why everybody's inbred, because you're in a fucking little tribe of people, and you get 5 generations in. What do you know? You're marrying your fucking cousin.
Right.
It's like, that's what it is.
Yeah, you have a bunch of people in Pakistan, wherever. Most of the Middle East is in Egypt, even. Except for outside of the Copts, the Christians, believe it or not. Sadly, a bunch of them were just killed in the celebration of Ramadan. That they're just durka fucking their cousins, and now you have another even more retarded generation with money and shiny things. What the fuck do you think's gonna happen?
No, I know. It's actually it's kind of reminiscent though of like, like a lot of the guys who are like sports figures. They're really talented at sports, but they're really fucking dumb. So like they'll be worth billions, and then in 10 years they're broke again. It's gonna be the same thing. It's just like on a global scale. The problem is that we needed to create really solid boundaries and say, okay, fine, here, we're going to give you money. You guys build all the combustible towers you want. Have fun with that. And when you're finally bankrupt, don't come to us. But the problem is that we Johnson's new fucking America bullshit opened the borders wide open. Same thing in Europe. And now you're seeing our civilization being dragged into the mud with these fucking morons. And this is the real problem. Like, if they want to fucking waste all their money and leave Lamborghinis on the side of the road, I don't give a shit. But now we're starting to see it in our civilization, where they're bringing this behavior in, and it's coming with at a cost of violence, and it's coming at the cost to taxpayers, people like us. The reason people are breeding, people who should be breeding, I know tons of people who should have huge families, and back in the 1800s they would have, and they can't afford it. They're the responsible people who want to pay their taxes and be able to eat.
Exactly.
So they're not having kids. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, because the taxes are too high to have kids.
Yeah. Absolutely. And they're the smart ones going, well, you know what? I won't be able to afford all the things I want in the life I want for my kids, so I just won't have any, or I'll have one. Right. So great. The people who should be having 10 children aren't having any. And the people who are like, I don't know. Just who gives a fuck? I just fucked and boom, a kid came out. Yeah, well, they don't give a fuck because they're on the dole. Well, what's going to happen when the 30% of the U.S. population that pays taxes can't do it anymore? Right. Then
right. And I think African American or Black teenage unemployment is like 50%. A half. Yeah. Half of Black teens are unemployed.
Yep.
That's a stat. 1 out of 2. That's an insane number to me.
Yeah. Well, and also
they're not adding anything. How do they get the experience?
It's also because of the immigration. This is the part, whenever I hear liberal politicians, they're so stupid and really racist that they lump in immigrants with minorities, like they put it all together. And I was talking to a Black friend of mine about this, because the bottom line is Black people in this country have gotten one of the rawest deals, actually, because when you replace them with immigrant labor that's off the books, they were already the ones that were like just catching up in society in the 70s and 80s. And then this flood of immigrants just kicks them out, because you got people who are immigrants who are used to working really, really hard for very, very little. Right. So they're happy to work.
Well, it happened in South Central, right? It's all Hispanic now.
It's all Hispanic. I have a friend who grew up in Compton, and he's like 22, 23. He's a Latino kid. And so I went to visit like a couple of years ago, and it's all Mexican now. I mean, it's hilarious. And it's the Blacks really got a raw deal on a lot of this. And so all these liberals who are like, oh, Black Lives Matter, but also we need more immigration. I'm like, you're the one who's fucking over the Black community. It's you guys, because we needed to take care of our own. Like whatever the case may be with the Black community, and they have a lot of problems. But it's look, however they got here is how they got here. They are U.S. citizens, and they were first and foremost, and we're throwing them under the bus for a bunch of immigrants from like Guatemala. What the fuck are we doing? or Middle Eastern people?
Yeah,
well, doesn't work.
Exactly. It's not going to work, and that's why you have, essentially, from what I've been reading and following in LA, a borderline race war between gangs, Hispanic gangs and then Black gangs. You know, Blood and Crips on one side, was the El Salvadorian MS-13 on the other side. Yeah, and the drug cartels on the other side, and they're just murdering each other. We are having a race war, but because it's minorities, sweep it under the rug.
Well, see, and that was big. Like when I was in high school in the 90s. And I was in schools where we had metal detectors. I mean, the whole deal. And so, and as a Puerto Rican in LA, I had to walk a fine line because traditionally Puerto Ricans got along better with Black people because we're mostly from the East Coast.
I've seen that here too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I look like a Mexican, so I just tried to stay as neutral as possible. It's why I can get along with a lot of different types of people, ironically. But that war was really active at that time. And it was all drug territory shit. And it's really calmed down in the last, I'd say, 10 years. LA's become a lot more integrated, but it's also because a lot of the Black folk moved out. And so you basically have Latino areas and you have white areas, and that's it. And though there's little tiny pockets that are still Black people, but it's not like it was in the 90s where you had really active race wars. So on the one hand, it's good. It's also changed because now, marijuana's legal, so you don't have the same kind of trafficking with that. You still have your people who run those routes, as it were, but it's not like it was in the 90s. It was really bad for a while.
Right. True. So Mercedes, I'm gonna let you go. I want to thank you for joining us. I really do appreciate it. Again, you can follow you on Twitter at the Mercedes XXX.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's a blast.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had a fun time, and we'll talk later and about the charity.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds good, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, later. Bye.
Thank you. Wow, man.
What do you think of that, Sal?
I friggin' love how high energy she is.
Yeah, she brought the show right back up from our awful intro. Hey guys, welcome to the Patriarchy Show. I'm cutting myself right now.
Well, that's what happens when you start off the show paranoid about technical issues.
Yeah.
But,
well,
no. I like some of her ideas, like her entrepreneur endeavors that she has.
Yeah, with the charity, with the vets.
Yeah, both things with the vets, like two totally different ways of going about things, but both of them are healthy for their morale.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah, getting fucked by a porn star will bring up anyone's morale, I believe.
No, so I mean, that I could have just kept listening because she's smart and witty. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I had time constraints and things and such.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
Jack had the.
I wish I could just do a 2-hour show, with Mercedes.
Well, tell Jack. No.
Yeah, tell Jack. Call her back. Tell Jack, get the hell out of here. Even though he's staying up till like 4:30 in the morning over there for us, because he's coming to the UK. Actually, speaking of that, let me fill the air. I gotta do something.
Open the docs back up. I don't know if people listening right now know what's happening with Kathy Griffin. She's employed by CNN, and she decided to do a photo shoot with a like a mock beheading of Donald Trump, and she's catching a lot of shit right now. She actually
got in trouble.
Did you see the sponsor she just lost?
Well, she lost every single sponsor known to man.
Did you ever hear of Squatty Potty?
Yeah, that's the one with the unicorn with the poo that comes out, right? The rainbow poo.
Yeah, they cut all ties with her, so poo is too good for her.
You see, if you lose the Squatty Potty money, you know you're in trouble.
You think?
You know you're in trouble. You know what money would if we lost, we would be in trouble, Sal?
Go ahead.
Speaking of money.
Go ahead.
And good services and sponsors, we might as well freaking shoehorn this in. Look, radio professionals, speaking of sponsors.
From shit to security.
Yeah, from shit to security. VPN Unlimited. You know, I use it. Sal uses it. It's a great service. I think for right now they have a sale. It's $100 for lifetime access to a VPN. I mean, you could do the monthly, which is cheap. I think it's $6 or $7 a month, or you can pay $100 and you got the VPN service for for a lifetime. It's a VPN Unlimited. The link is in the description, and we're going to put it up on the website too. It creates an encrypted tunnel, and all user activity, travels through that. This means that all the data they send or receive is hidden from hackers, sniffers, and spies because it is inside that encrypted tunnel. That tunnel is established between your device, so your iPhone or your computer, and one of 1,200 reliable servers of VPN Unlimited located in over 70 countries around the globe. So if you want to be in Japan, you want to be in France. I don't know why after that story you would want to be in France. But wherever. You could be wherever you want. So not only your connection will be protected, your geographic location IP will be hidden too. This will let you surf the web without any restrictions or limits. Whether inside your country or on a business trip or on a vacation, you will have access to your favorite web resources, even in the regions with strict internet censorship. VPN Unlimited is a cross-platform service available for iOS, Android, Mac, Windows Phone, Linux, Mozilla Firefox, and Google Chrome. Link in description. Woo!
Sounds good.
I think should we invite Jack in? You think?
Yeah, invite him.
Well, speaking of the UK, that's one of the reasons we use the VPN, so we could sign up for UK service for free, like to watch like live British television. There's a couple shows my wife and I like.
Man,
because if you have a US IP address, you can't watch the Channel 4 player or whatever, ITV player.
That's beer for Jack and Sebastian. I don't want them ending up going to like some friggin' Taylor Swift concert and getting blown up.
For Sebastian?
Yeah, because they're not gonna do anything about that shit down there. They're not gonna protect their citizens.
What have they done so far to protect their citizens in the UK? I mean, Theresa May made an angry speech. And Germany said U.S. and U.K. are on your own. So Germany's going to get raped by Muslims a lot, and the U.K. is going to get raped by Muslims a little.
You know what's going to happen?
It'll be a lot.
Know what's going to happen? The next attack is going to be like a combination of Manchester and Nice, or whatever you call that place. Like the big crowd's going to
run over people.
They're going to run out into the streets, and then that crowd's going to get fucking run over.
Right.
They're not going to fucking learn. Yeah, and I just made a prediction because I'm Alex Jones. That's what's going to happen next.
Oh, that they're going to run around in garbage trucks and hit people while shooting?
What's that? Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
That they're going to like shoot from garbage trucks while they're running over people outside of arenas? I mean, it's absolutely possible. Fucking terrible, but it's possible. Don't give them any ideas, Sal. Sal, you're giving ISIS ideas on how to attack the West. Oh, I'm sure they already thought of it. That's why you have garbage trucks when Trump was in New York City, surrounding Trump Tower and all that security. So if someone wanted to drive a big truck in, they wouldn't be able to do it. I think filled with sand and concrete and shit and rocks.
I don't see. Now you made me feel bad.
Why?
Saying I'm giving them ideas.
You're giving aid to ISIS, Sal. Sal Qaeda.
Jesus Christ.
I am Sal Qaeda. We were coming after your women. After I fuck my 3 cousins and we make 18 babies, we will come for your women. I am Sal Qaeda.
Sal Qaeda. Holy shit, that's fucking funny.
That's I think that's the character. I think Sal Qaeda was just created. His name is Sal Qaeda. I want to go to your country. I go to London. My name is Sal Qaeda. I won't stick my thumb up a white woman's asshole for fun. Da, 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 da. What?
I guess I guess I'm with the I'm getting with the times here because a lot of people were calling my house Salschwitz for a little while.
Salschwitz.
So Sal Qaeda, Salschwitz. I don't know what's worse.
Well, one's a lie.
Is that the Armenian one?
Which one? What are we talking about? One was a lie created by the government. No, we know there were like 8 people there. Come on, we're not that, right, Sal? We're gonna get in so much trouble. We already almost got in trouble. Remember that an article was written about us for being naughty boys, and we're not that naughty as the article suggested.
Yeah, and now I'm buddies with the guy, and we Facebook message every so often. It's funny.
Send dick pics. You talk about football.
They're gonna be him and his buddies are gonna be starting a podcast, and he was asking for some assistance. Actually.
Oh, okay. Fuck it. I don't care.
I was giving him some. I was basically consulting.
That relationship was like in a high school thing. Like in high school or elementary school, you get into a fight, you're like, "Fuck you!" and you start fighting each other. Then you get in the principal's office, and you're forced to apologize. You're like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm sorry. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that about your mom." And then the next day, you guys are best friends, sleeping over each other's house.
That's not gonna go now.
Exactly what happened. Sal, you're an 11-year-old boy.
Oh man.
Hey, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Because our guest isn't responding to my yelling at him because he was supposed to come on 3 minutes ago. So let's see. You have access to Google Voice. We could call his cell phone and make him come on. Let's call his cell phone.
Let me.
Do you think we can do that? I have his number. I'll put it in the chat so I don't announce it. Speaking of dick pics, send to Zero. No.
I have to. Let me open up another browser here.
He wanted me to call his mobile.
Is that what he said?
Well, it's 4:20 over there, or 4 or 3. What? I don't know what time is it. It's 5 hours. It's 5 hours later over there, so it's 11. Yeah, so it's like 4 o'clock in the morning over there right now, almost.
All right, let me.
So I'm assuming he passed out.
So we're gonna wake him up.
Yeah, let's wake him up.
Oh, let's give
him a fucking phone call. Did you get the number?
Yeah, let me. Where the hell is it? Yeah, I'm logging in right now.
I'll fill the air.
Go ahead.
Dick joke. No, but seriously, while Sal's doing that, we were talking earlier with Mercedes about the different vet charities. I talking about it on every show. The Heart of a Marine Foundation, heartofamarine.org. That's a smaller charity. It's not like the big ones that have 85-90% goes to administrative costs like some other charities. Wounded Warriors that will remain nameless. Almost all the money, if not all the money, goes to the vets. They're doing a lot of work. They're doing care. They do a lot of care packages. Heart of Marine likes care packages. Or repairing a roof on a vet's house that just can't afford it and can't get a loan because they have no credit because they're busy fighting in a war for 4 years. Hey, sorry.
I'm trying to call this number right now.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Do you like my little rant to fill it in? That's pretty good, right? I want compliments, Sal Qaeda. I will bomb you. I will bomb your podcast. I will give you 1-star iTunes. After I have sex with my mother.
What the hell are you talking about?
Sal Qaeda. That's what the Muslim Sal would do. Because you're inbred.
Okay. I guess that's my new job.
Well, not you. The Muslim version of you in a bizarro world in another dimension. Jeez. Don't you watch or read sci-fi? No, because that's for geeks. Damn it.
Yeah, it's.
Any response from our guest?
All right, it's not letting me connect. I'm gonna see if I could try from a different.
I'm trying to.
No, he's not. He's not picking up.
He's not picking up the cell phone, so no guest, huh?
I mean, we could probably drum up another guest really quick.
What, from the UK? at 4 a.m. over there.
Yeah,
That's not going to happen.
I can't do that. I can have someone call in with a British accent.
Hello, Governor. Oi, you want to play some footy? There was a ball in Manchester. Oh, I couldn't believe it. All these wankers are wandering around. Fucking terrible. That's how I sound like the when South Park does like a British thing. Oi, look at that over there, Governor.
That what's worse is they're Canadian.
Or I drive on the other side of the road because I don't want to be like America. Bloody hell, blue is my tea and stuff.
All right, so we're coming to
my again, British accent, exactly like my Russian accent. I just say different words. I just say British words instead of Russian words. Like gulag. Hello, here's my gulag. Oh, I'm going insane. I drank too many Red Bulls.
Holy shit. Okay, so now we don't have a guest for the next hour, but that's okay. We have some stuff to touch upon.
It's fine. Actually, we're talking about how liberals or Dems are real racists. I know it's a meme, but it's kind of true. How they underestimate minorities a lot. And I found a video that I wanted to play. It was pretty good. Did you see this one about the guy talking about IDs? He talks to a bunch of like white college liberals about blacks and voter ID, and they go, "Well, they're too poor. They don't know where the DMV is," and basically saying blacks are retards. And then he goes to a bunch of black people and says, "Well, see this video?" And the black people are like, "What? I know what a DMV is. It's on 125." What? Uh-huh. Mm-mm. And so on. And noises of unpleasantries ensue. Here, hold on. I'll put the link. It's in a tweet, so there's no commercial.
Yeah, there was a similar video like that I recently saw with they asked a bunch of white people about white privilege, and they were just all of their answers were filled with guilt and like all these loads of bullshit. And then when they went and asked black people, they're like, "I ain't got time for any white privilege. There's no white privilege."
White privilege? I gotta pay for my family food. Get out of here, nigga. So did you see the video? That was awful. I'm a 1976 pimp now. Black pimp.
Exactly. Dude, speaking of
No, play the video. Well, then we'll get there. I know what you're gonna do.
We'll talk about the pimp.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're gonna do. Mind meld.
To find out if voter ID laws suppress the black vote. An opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes. Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so like we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. Like that's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this? Some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right? That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's that on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Did you have a problem getting there if you had to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
Did they ever hear Black Twitter?
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly, right?
Exactly. I do it at work. So, of course, I know how to use it. My kids know how to use it. They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone has data? You can actually
Unlimited.
Unlimited data.
I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say to you for the people who have this perception of black people?
They're pretty much ignorant. That's what my thought process is.
I just think that's ignorant.
That's ignorant.
That's the word I'm
Very,
hearing
very
a lot.
ignorant. Very, very ignorant.
Does it sound racist for somebody to say that?
I think it is a little racist because, you're putting people in a category and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe a little bit of racist in it, but like I said, I think it's more stupidity and ignorance.
You're judging somebody, you're judging them because they black, saying that they don't got it.
What people are they talking to? Who are these people talking to?
Do you have a problem that if you go to vote and they say, "Can we please see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are"? Are you
Love showing my ID.
You got no problem with that?
Nope.
Would you have a problem if when you go to vote, if they say, "Can we please just see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are"? Do you have an issue with that?
No.
Would you have a problem if there was a rule where you have to show your ID in order to vote?
I don't think so. No.
Would you have an issue if there was a rule saying you got to show your ID before you vote?
Nah.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm here in Berkeley, California.
No, get out of there. Don't be in Berkeley, California.
They
lib shits everywhere.
Yeah, these people think that African Americans are just totally helpless, and
well, they've been made to be helpless. I've said this on past episodes. The black divorce rate was like 4% right after the Civil War. So the black and after Jim Crow, and I think it was even like 8% maybe right pre-Civil Rights Act. So the black family was able to stay cohesive and survive, through the horrors of slavery, through Jim Crow, through oppression and racism, all the way to civil rights, and then 50 years of Democrat rule. They don't know, apparently, according to white liberals.
So do you think that after the Voting Rights Acts and
handing out welfare like candy,
so the dependence on government outweighed any other societal what's the word I'm looking for? Like
advancement?
Yeah, like
Well, you have your own place. Okay, if you just kind of hang out on welfare, how to work the system, you get your own place. They'll give you SNAP, also known as food stamps. They'll give you TANF, which is known as cash assistance. They'll give you money. My wife, she comes from a poor family, and she's seen people get money for cars to actually buy fucking cars. And then if it's the summertime, you got the air conditioner. In the wintertime, you got the heat. You got a nice TV. I mean, sure, there's this innate thing in humans that want to advance and as Hillary Clinton would say, be better. But be better. Do you have that? No. But it just seems to get it gets lost and it gets repressed after a generation or so of left-wing liberal socialist policies of here's a handout. Here's some Gibbs me, you know? Seriously. And I was talking about this the other day with some people, is we would hope that you know, blacks would you know, realize, hey, this shit is going up. And a lot of them are. There are a lot of different groups on Hotep and things like that on Twitter that are you know, going, oh, this is what's happening. But do you think they would really bite the hand that gives? Sal?
I think
serious question with a joke in it, but do you think you think people would bite the hand that feeds if you know, you got the government and you got these people just giving money and giving cars and giving homes, even if it's shitty, but giving, you know, I mean, the poorest here in America in inner cities have it way better off than a lot of the middle class in Eastern Europe.
I don't think they would want to let it go.
But the internet isn't as fast as it is in Romania. We need faster internet. Thank you, Bernie. Thank you for cutting in, for reminding us that Eastern Europe has fast internet in Romania.
Yeah, there's people friggin' tripping over bullet shells after a revolution that's been over for decades. But as long as they have their fucking bandwidth, they're fine.
Yeah. They've been fighting wars, in, you know, civil wars, you know, being killed by communists and such in Romania. But they have the fastest internet in all of Eastern Europe. You have faster internet in Romania than they do in Boston, and that shouldn't be allowed.
Hey, Bernie, do they have hotspots set up at the castles in Transylvania?
They have hotspots with Dracula. He's able to get onto the World Wide Web. He doesn't even have to use AOL, I hear, anymore. You could reach me at bernie.sanders@aol.com. Thank you.
Oh, man. Thank you, Bernie.
I'm just here to let people understand and realize that the revolution is happening. I don't care if I wear diapers. As long as I fight and I live and I breathe,
well,
people of Vermont will have fast internet.
As long as I have you here, Bernie. We're trying to get off the the internet thing for a second.
Why would we want to do that? Of course, it's a typical Republican tactic. You want to change the issue.
Well, I want to find out are you just relieved that, you know, the Seth Rich thing isn't solved? And
what's a Seth Rich?
Seth Rich, that's
I
the
have no
guy.
idea what you're talking about. I have a nice house. I'm here. I have a nice car. And, you know, you run for president. You give a speech. They give you money. It's a wonderful thing. God bless socialist America.
So you did some work for money, and that's socialist?
Yes, because the money was from a college which was federally funded. Socialism at work, getting people from moderate wealth to even more wealth.
You didn't have any fundraising? You didn't use any of your own salary?
Of course. Where would I do that? I have great health care, and everyone should have the same health care I do. I don't understand why we can't just give everybody the same health care that I have.
So what do you?
Why can't we do that? Well, we can do all these other things, but we can't give everyone health care, and everyone college, and everyone a car, and everyone a mule, and 40 acres, and fast internet without AOL. No more AOL in Bernie Sanders, America.
Well, what do you think about?
I hate AOL, if you haven't noticed.
How about what is your feeling on super delegates?
Sometimes you have to recognize when you might be wrong after you get a $600,000 vacation house. So I was wrong.
So there was nothing wrong with the delegates. Nothing, you know.
Super delegates sometimes are needed.
You don't even want to talk about Seth Rich, huh?
What's that? I have no itches anywhere.
Seth Rich.
Was he rich? I don't know. Who's Seth? I don't know if he had any money whatsoever.
You don't want
I'm
him
losing
to,
my
anyone
voice.
to be rich.
I think I got like a ear infection. It was getting worse and worse as it went on. I'm like, my throat. I need liquids.
Oh man, Bernie Sanders just died.
Tore down that wall. Hey, it's not really Bernie Sanders, people. Woo! But he fooled you.
It's fucking funny. Fucking Jack.
What? He's not coming?
Yeah,
Did you call him again?
I tried messaging.
Nothing.
I hope. Was there another attack, or did he?
Uh-oh.
Is he just?
In South England?
It's still safer than Chicago.
Well, that's for sure. Anything's safe from Chicago. How many people? What's the crime? How many people have been killed there now?
Just this past weekend, 5 dead, 44 wounded.
What's the total for the year?
That's a good question. I don't have the yearly. Let's see.
We could do this thing that has very fast internet called the Google.
I'm using AOL.
How dare you? Well, here, this is a website. I don't know what it is. It's called HeyJackass.com. You ever hear of it?
No.
Apparently, these are the up-to-date stats. I'm trying to see where these stats are coming from. And it's wait, the month of May, 54 people? No. This week, 8?
40? No, 5 this week. 40. All just this week, and 49 were shot. 5 of them died.
Oh, jeez. Oh, dear. So apparently, according to this website, which I can't find where they're getting their sources.
Are you talking about the 235 murders?
No, it says 247 total homicides now.
Jesus Christ.
1,364 shot, 1,131 shot and wounded, 233 shot and killed, 247 total homicides. So there was about a dozen homicides that were knives or, bashing someone's skull in. Nice and intimate. That's what I like to say.
The only reason why I brought up Chicago is because this idiot from USA Today, I can't even pronounce his name, Amr Madani.
Retard Muslim, go.
He's saying that it's a sign of progress.
What, that there's murders constantly in Chicago?
No, because this year only 44 were wounded and 5 were killed. Last year, Memorial Day weekend, 7 were killed and 61 were wounded.
We're getting there. We're really making some progress. From shit to a little bit less shit. We're getting there.
It's disgusting.
What a fucking idiot. So you want to talk about your friend, the Star Child?
I had so much.
What's that about? Because we did have fun with that. So if people don't know your background in the Libertarian Party, so give them a brief background. Background. Oh my god! Give them a brief background on your participation in the LP.
Yeah. So I decided I wanted to give the Libertarian Party a shot a little over 5 years ago, and I never even voted Libertarian on any ticket even after that, because the fucking clown show that they have, the friggin' freak show of candidates, and not just candidates, some of their staff members, their friggin' committee members, they're creeps, they're freaks. I was doing some research for an article one of our partners at Halsey News was writing, and I decided to look up their staff page, and I saw this guy, Star Child, and he's a fucking mess. This guy, you've seen his picture. How would you describe him?
A younger, gayer, less clothes-wearing Ted Nugent.
Okay, that yeah. trying to see if I can present this picture to everyone.
Present them. Google Star Child Libertarian Party if you're listening to us later on. But we'll try to throw it up on the YouTubes.
So I saw.
And we're still banned. Oh yeah, they're Star Child. Yeah, let me describe the picture because, like I said, 99.9% of the audience are podcast listeners, like TED Talk. He's wearing a visor, speaking into a microphone. That's normal. You wear a visor, you can speak into a microphone. That's normal, and that's where the normal ends. Everything else is nowhere normal. He's wearing fairy wings with a silver belly shirt thing, right? And he's wearing silver short shorts and high platform. Are those roller skates?
I don't know if they're just high platform pink boots or if they're roller skates.
Yeah, high platform pink boots with neon shit all over them. And they possibly roller skates. I can't see. I'm old and blind.
He's a creep. I can't even stand looking at this guy. I'll put another picture of him out there.
Yeah, there's another picture. What was? Did you mention Star Child's position at the LP?
He is a at large. What the hell is he called?
He's an at large.
He's on their committee.
Right. He's a libertarian committee member, right? He would be like the equivalent to like a I don't know, the Republican, like an Orrin Hatch. No, because he's not in the Senate. Like a Republican committee member at the RNC hitting the gavel and shit. Like I guess like Sean Spicer pre-working for Trump.
Or like a Reince Priebus or something. Like well, not like a head, but like up there in like an unelected top head of a major party, the third biggest party in the country, and you got this guy,
Star Child.
Yeah, so I saw his picture. I was like, oh my god, he's this fucking crazy hippie, and I started making fun of him on Twitter, and I got attacked by a few people. Well, he's better than what you have as a Republican.
But and here's the thing. This is the funny part. Are you a Republican?
No.
Yeah. So. You're a man without the party. Because the Libertarian Party, and we've said it multiple times, sure the fuck ain't the party of Ron Paul.
No. So, I decided to look into this guy, and I guess it was like right after our show went down, after we went off the air last week.
Right.
I started looking at my feed, and I saw people attacking me because I made fun of Star Child.
Oh no, the Star Child army is coming after you.
So I only attacked them based on appearance.
Right.
So then I didn't even have to do any deep digging. Like as soon as you Google him, you see all this shit.
Yes, it's not doxing with one
So
X.
his real name
just out there.
is Star Child. He's legally Star Child. That's his name. And
his parents are so proud. His dad that abandoned him is so happy.
He's a self-described bisexual sex worker.
Right. So a male prostitute.
Yeah. And he was arrested for his being a bisexual sex worker. And there's like those stings that you see on Dateline NBC.
Yeah.
Well, basically he went to grab money that somebody left on the nightstand, and then a news crew came running into the room.
Star Child on NBC tonight. Star Child.
And you know what? Let me correct myself. He wasn't elected. He wasn't elected by voters, but the actual committee itself voted for him to be on. To be a delegate. So the
Libertarian Party has a choice not to have him in as a delegate, right?
Then I see an interview that he did a few years back saying that the Libertarian Party needs its own Che Guevara.
Because that's the same thing as being libertarian.
Now, with this guy being gay and all, do you think that it would, benefit him to have a Che Guevara in the Libertarian Party?
It would benefit me if they had a Che Guevara in the Libertarian Party because he'd throw him off a cliff.
And if you go to the Libertarian Party website, they just recently updated their logo, and it has the cute little logo there, and underneath it says the Party of Principle.
Well, there you go.
And this guy who's supposed to be within a party of principle teamed up with all of the Democrats that were crying after the 2016 election. He was one of the ones that were protesting and signing petitions trying to get the Electoral College to switch their vote from Trump to Hillary.
But aren't libertarians supposed to love the Electoral College? And from what I understand, don't most of the libertarians even want it more representative, like even on like a further, local level?
I always had the understanding that, that a party of principle would follow the laws as they're written, especially the Constitution and, the rules that were created in, making the government what it's supposed to be today.
Well, yeah, it's not the same party, like I said, as Ron Paul. It's nowhere near it.
Yeah,
and look who's with us, Sal. Jack Smith, finally. I guess sleepyhead woke up.
Shut the hell up.
You know what? Since
we were scared, we thought you got attacked by Al Qaeda or something over there.
I think since Jack...
Well, that's no surprise. I wouldn't be surprised these days in this country.
Yeah. What's Sal?
I think since Jack came in the middle of our Star Child talk, I think his entrance theme should be Star Child, the song.
Let's play some Star Child song. This is good songs, Jack. For you.
I could feel I could feel an estrogen level just building up inside of me while listening to this.
Is your penis starting to turtle?
My T cells are dropping.
All right, enough. Get enough. No Star Child song. Let's talk about UK politics instead of bisexual male prostitutes that were on the Libertarian Party committee. Enough of that. Nobody wants to hear about Star Child. Enough about Star Child, Sal.
I need to find the Libertarian Party's Che Guevara so we can get rid of Star Child.
I think you should be Libertarian Party Che Guevara and start shooting gays in the head. Like he wants it. Sorry, Jack. So, joining us, Movie Central.
Is this sleep deprivation, or is this what's really happening?
This is really happening. This is actually an actual discussion on a podcast. So, anywho, with us, Movie Central UK Associate Editor Jack Smith. You can follow Jack on Twitter at Mr. Jack Smith. The whole word Mr. So, Jack, how you doing at 4:24 in the morning?
I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it's nice to be here anyway, as it always is.
Of course. So I want to get right. Let's just get right the fuck into it. You watched the debates the other night. Theresa May did abysmal. Corbyn, you said to me it sounded sincere. What other takeaways from the debate you think were there?
Well, Corbyn, I think, presented himself better. I think he was able to handle pretty much the questions that came his way. Unfortunately, the interviewer was one of those sort of interviewers who was pretty forceful and wouldn't let anyone answer the question. It's just jump in and in. So it made a mockery of the whole interview, frankly. But May was being laughed at by the audience, probably because it was a leftist audience, but anyway. Her only round of applause came on the point where she said that she would definitely walk away from the Brexit negotiations with a no deal if the only deal on the table was banned for Britain.
Right. So I saw a poll saying that the Tories will have a 100-seat majority. What do you think? That's what the one I literally just saw before I came on.
Okay, well, a YouGov poll came out this evening, which suggested that the Tories would be short on a majority by 16. They will be the largest party, but they will be short by 16.
Really? So
and the
Labour
Party will have approximately 25 seats more than they had last time, which I find incredibly hard to believe. My assumption for that is it was because this has been released by the Telegraph newspaper, which is a pro-Tory newspaper. My guess is that that poll is probably going to try and wake the Tories up a little bit. They know they're probably going to win, but it's too close to comfort as far as they're concerned.
Right. The whole point.
Bad job. She's doing such a bad job that she's actually giving the Labour Party a chance. And this is not even a particularly good Labour Party. This is a Labour Party full of idiots who can't answer questions on figures that they've put in, things they put in their manifesto. So this is a sign of how bad the Conservative Party are at the moment.
Well, wasn't May calling the election right now? Wasn't the whole point was to get more of a Tory majority? Wasn't the whole point to have a mandate?
Yeah, that was the point. It was to win even more, but have such a huge majority. The point that their point was, give us a massive majority and we will give you a good Brexit in these negotiations. We need a big majority so we can have a big hand once we start negotiating. And at the moment, that possibly might not happen. I mean, you have to take into account that at the last minute, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to vote Conservative because they will just not want to run the risk of having this particular Labour government, especially this one particular. Because we will have a Prime Minister in Corbyn who has been very supportive of the IRA in the past, is going to raise taxes hugely.
Well, he's to the left of even like Barack Obama for our American listeners, right? Corbyn.
Well, he's certainly to the left of a lot of modern people in the Labour Party. I mean, Tony Blair is despairing of him.
Right. Well, I think everybody over in the UK is despairing of Blair, so that's just fair play, isn't it?
That is true, and with good reason. In fact, I was taught a tip recently. The best way to watch Tony Blair on television is to watch him whilst holding a fork up to your eye, so it looks like he's behind bars.
Poor Blair, he still gets it. It's been 15 years, 20 years now. He's still getting it. Okay, the guy can't escape. He did a terrible job. He fucked everything up. But anyway, so Tories aren't looking as good as they were. What about UKIP? Any seats, possibilities?
Well, Paul Nuttall, to be fair to him, in the last week or so, I'd say, starting to look more of a leader than he has in the whole 7 months or so he's been leader of the party. He did an interview on that was last night too, which was earlier in the evening. He held his own very well. He's got another audience-based debate I think coming up this week. The manifesto has been launched, some of which I'm not sure about, but it's pretty much at the bulk of what you'd expect from UKIP, and I think there's a good possibility that they will win one seat in this election. More than that looks unlikely, but I have hope that they are going to win at least one.
Because the one seat you guys did have, he went over to the Conservatives, right?
Well, Coxwell decided that he was going to. Well, he said he left UKIP to become independent, and then when the election was called, he decided to not to contest the seat, knowing that he was probably going to lose it. Because I think he's become deeply unpopular. Whether UKIP will retain that seat remains to be seen. I think the smart money would be on UKIP winning Thurrock in Essex, which is currently a Conservative seat, which he came third last time, but only lost by 1% of the vote. That much of a marginal seat, it could go to 3 parties.
Jeez. I mean, it just doesn't look. I mean, you just had a tragedy, where children were killed by a monster in Manchester, and usually when something like that happens, politicians and anybody, I mean, patriotic would say we need to stop this, and we need to do X, Y, Z, and Labour Party isn't that party yet. They're going up in the polls.
That That
How does
gives you
that
an
make? I don't understand how that makes sense.
That gives you an indication of how bad this Conservative government has been in the last 5 weeks or so, ever since this election was called. Their campaign has gone pretty badly. Theresa May's whole thing of this campaign was, it was more or less, it felt a little bit like, I suppose, an American election. You felt like you were voting more for a person rather than a party.
Right.
She was very much promoting herself, and any mention of the word conservative in any graphic behind her or any campaign bus is written in very small letters. It's more all about her.
Theresa May, right?
Whereas with the Labour Party, any leaflet that people get through their doors, any mention of Jeremy Corbyn is well missing from most of these local candidates.
So it's the exact opposite strategy of what May's doing.
Yes, it's all about voting Labour, not about voting for Corbyn as Prime Minister. It's about having a Labour government. The mention of having Corbyn as Prime Minister is missing from pretty much everything that anyone is using to promote them.
But really, let's say Corbyn, he doesn't become Prime Minister, but he only loses by a few points. What do you think that's going to look like over there? I mean, with Theresa May having such a powerful control over the government in the UK, and now just losing by a couple points when she went to hold an election to have a mandate, and now she won by a couple points.
Well, it's going to be quite embarrassing. In fact, if you win and she doesn't win well, it's going to be quite embarrassing. Even wins, it would still be quite embarrassing for her, I think, because they were about 15 to 20 points front in the polls coming into the election campaign, and it's being reduced. Anyway, as I said, you have to take into account that there were going to be people that will not vote for Labour at the last minute, and you get this shy Tories concept, which you get in polls. You have to take in a certain percent of error for people that just won't admit to the fact that they'll vote Conservative.
Right. Yeah, same thing, that happened here, well, happened over there with Brexit. Didn't want to admit they were, pro-Brexit. And then over here, people that didn't want to admit they were pro-Trump. So similar scenario.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, I just want to make a point about this. Did this Kathy Griffin thing, you mentioned this yet tonight?
Barely.
It's just I saw it. Okay, I just want to make the point. I saw it, and she's holding up this what was supposed to look like a severed head of Donald Trump. But the severed head of Donald Trump doesn't look like the weirdest thing in the shop.
What?
It's like he's got there's like a bloodied severed Trump head, and it's still not the weirdest looking thing in shop. She looks weird.
Yeah. He looks like an elderly man in drag. She looks like what's his name? Nipsey Russell. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like Nipsey Russell. That's him. If you don't know, if you're young and you don't know who that is, that's who Kathy Griffin looks like right now.
Yeah, the only thing we mentioned about that so far is that one of her sponsors dropped her, but her employer hasn't said a boo.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I saw she had to
No,
apologize.
not Nipsey Russell. She looks like it's not Nipsey Russell. I'm thinking the wrong person. But she looks like an elderly man in drag. Enough.
She looks like Kurt Russell.
Yeah, she looks like Kurt Russell with a red wig on.
Oh man, it did look pretty bad. But this is the other thing as well. Anglo-American relations are going to be bad, I think, if Corbyn Prime Minister.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't even entertain the idea of having Trump over here.
You think so? So it would be that bad that he wouldn't allow Donald Trump to come over for a state visit? The president of your best ally?
He would do it, but it would be incredibly begrudgingly.
It would be like when Merkel and him met. It was like, I guess so I have to meet him because he's Trump's country guy, but I don't want to because I want my people to be raped.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's my Merkel. You like it?
It was splendid.
I'm doing Sanders. I'm doing Merkel. I'm doing all the politicians that want Europeans and Americans to be raped by immigrants.
How about you do Merkel meets Sanders?
I'm not even going to bother trying that. I don't even know what that would be. Do you have to listen to me? Berlin needs to have the fast internet like Romania. No, there you go. Because he likes the
Is
internet.
it still sleep deprivation, or is that something else that's you
We're just trying anything right now.
We're like an improv.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's like a bomb prov. Boo! All right, Jack, we're going to let you go. Dude, it's like 5 a.m. over there. I will let you go. Thanks for coming on so late. I just wanted to give people an update what the the feeling after Manchester and the election that's coming up on what, the 8th?
The 8th of June, yeah.
Yeah.
You should do a show for the
Funny.
whole thing, for whole duration.
Yeah, I don't see why not. What day of the week is that?
What day is that? That is
Is that actually a Tuesday?
It is a Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, maybe we'll do a show, Sal. You want to do a British show?
Let's do a British show.
Yeah, we should come up. I should come on for some of it. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. I think we'll talk about it off the air. Jack, thanks for coming on. Again, people can follow you, Mr. Jack Smith on Twitter. See you work at newmediacentral.net. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Cheerio, guys. See you soon.
Have a good one. Jesus. Poor guy. I feel bad now.
You woke him up in the middle, not even in like the middle of the night, like 1 or 2. It's like 5.
Your phone rings at 5 in the morning. Hey, get up, do a show with us.
Get on the air. It's an American number. Just angry Americans yelling at you. I'm trying to sleep. Get on the fucking microphone. You wanker.
It's been an interesting episode so far.
Has it been? Well, we had the fantastic Mercedes Carrera on, so that part was fun. And then we made fun of whatever the hell Star Child is.
That fucking song.
Is that the gayest song of all time?
It has to be.
Think of like gay songs. Like, okay, this is like It's Raining Men. That's a fucking gay song. So if you were to put that song up against It's Raining Men or that song up against YMCA by the Village People, what would win? I think Star Child by that band from the 80s wins as far as like a gay sounding song. As far as a gay anthem, of course it doesn't because no one knows who the fuck it is. But it just sounds very gay.
I was just trying to find out why somebody would want to change their name to Star Child to begin with.
Right. No, that's not true. Come on, admit it. You had your Alice in Chains playlist on, and then you found that song and put it in there. That's what really happened. I like this.
Star Child. Down in the hole. Start with
Down in the hole. I like to blow guys.
I wouldn't even want to. I can't even.
Gen X rock reference.
This song's not monetized, right? Are we gonna get sued just because?
Yeah. They're gonna shut down because I did an awful Alice in Chains impression. Shut it down, everyone. Well, we're not even bothering monetizing anymore. I just gave up. I don't care. I mean, our live viewership isn't that big of a deal anyway. But however, if it was a big deal, I think I'd be pissed.
What? Well,
we couldn't monetize any of this.
Before I got us banned for playing Alice in Chains, we were getting copyright letters because we played some we played some Muslim music about burqas.
We actually won a couple of them, but then they demonetized it for content.
Did we win the burqa one?
Which one?
The one with the women and the burqas or some shit?
I don't know, but we won one, and then like a day later they demonetized it again because of content. Because you said, Keeb too many times or something.
Try some Sal Qaeda type stuff.
Sal Qaeda. So, how much did we really get into our Sean Hannity scoop?
No, we haven't touched on that.
Well, that was all you, so Here's the plate. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this weekend, as probably all of our listeners know, Sean Hannity was getting his ass kicked by Media Matters because they figured you know, they'd go for the kill shot, as some like to say, when when they were trying to kick him when he was down.
Right. And real quick, who is Media Matters?
Media Matters is a left-wing group funded by George Soros. I think it started in the 90s with the main purpose to smear all of Bill Clinton's victims. So
kind of like Bill Clinton smeared that semen on the dress.
now they're basically a propaganda arm and a militant, like a group of attack dogs online for the DNC.
Okay, so they wanted Sean Hannity because whatever reason they were making up off the air.
Yeah, they were successful recently in getting Bill O'Reilly off the air.
Right.
And now they tried to go after some of Hannity's sponsors.
Right.
Because he was allegedly spread. This is, I've never heard of this one. He wasn't sexually harassing people. He didn't violate any terms of service. He didn't violate.
He didn't fuck kids or have child porn like the Democrat in New York City that got swept under the rug.
There was no N-words or nappy-headed O's. There was no racial, no sexual, nothing. All he did was try to look into an unsolved murder.
Right.
And, if you watch TV, you switch to the channels, there's like 8 million shows with people trying to solve, there's unsolved mysteries, there's
The First 48, which is my favorite one.
Yeah, and then
we talked about that last week.
Type of shows.
Yeah.
What's that chick on Nancy Grace does that sometimes?
Yeah. I hate her.
Yeah, so they tried to use him looking into Seth Rich's murder as conspiracy, and I don't even know why. He knows, everybody knows he's not a journalist.
Right, he's an opinion guy. He's been an opinion guy from the start. I mean, it was Allen, it was Hannity and Combs. It was liberal versus conservative opinion guys. That's what the whole point.
Yeah, so they started going after his sponsors, and he lost 5.
Right, he lost what? One was USAA. He lost.
USAA. He lost some mattress company. He lost Cars.com and like 2 others.
Okay.
But as of this afternoon, USAA came back to him.
Well, that's the thing. Sean Hannity apparently isn't fired, right? That was the whole thing over the weekend. The rumors were swirling.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Right. Well, Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah, a couple of prominent right-wing figures on Twitter said they had a scoop, and sources told them that Hannity would be fired, but this week.
Right.
So I contacted Fox News, and I got a hold of their VP of
the executive vice president of communications or whatever over there.
Yeah, and she simply said, "The tweets and reports you're seeing on this are not accurate. Sean Hannity has the unequivocal support of Fox News."
And that was it.
So I sent that to somebody we know that I figured had some connections at Fox, and he ran with it. He contacted people. He got back to me saying, "You're right. He's not going anywhere."
Right. And you worked with him too. You know him. You know, like.
Well, I didn't work directly with him. He actually has his own studio at his residence.
Oh, okay.
But
even back then, even back in like 2007.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Out in Long Island, he has his own thing. Just as Rush Limbaugh has his own friggin' thing at his house in Florida.
I guess they all do. Is Howard Stern the only guy that goes to his studio?
There's a
Well, let's face it. SiriusXM basically is his home. So
yeah, Don Imus has it as his shit right on his ranch.
Yeah.
But all of the board operators, the engineers, the producers,
right.
some of the news people that come on during breaks, they're at the studio.
Okay. And then, so that was the response and the comment that we got on Saturday. And then you went and asked again because there's even more rumors that he was going to get fired. And she said, the executive vice president, she said that her statement stands.
Yeah, the statement still stands. And I gave her a couple of tweets from people. They're saying, "Oh, I have this source, I have that source," and she's like, "Yeah, I saw that. He's staying.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere." Okay, because that would be a huge mistake. They would lose so many boomer conservatives. Well, Hanny's like he's not. I mean, he's very milquetoast. He's not like that's what I want to say. He's not super controversial. He didn't like you said. He didn't rape or molest or whatever anybody and pay hush money. He didn't do nothing.
Even though O'Reilly has all those allegations, when he left, so did 500,000 people.
Right. Yeah, that was a thing as well.
He left. I mean, all they would have left
Tucker Carlson,
who's really good, but he still hasn't. He's this.
His following is more of a cult following. He doesn't seem like the average 70-year-old Fox viewer likes Tucker Carlson.
He's not established over there yet.
Yeah.
He might not ever be.
Yeah, I like him.
Me too.
He's my favorite guy over there, actually. If I had to pick one.
But
yeah, Hannity isn't going anywhere.
And if it turns out that Fox lied to us,
that's it. We're suing.
Pretty high up executive there.
Yeah.
That it shows what even right-wing mainstream media thinks of its viewers.
Right.
Disgusting.
Well, you have the Murdoch children starting to take the reins over, and they want to be a little bit more left-wing and all this other shit. So we'll see what happens over at Fox. I mean, that's why we need places to go to hear different types of points of view. Everybody. The liberals and the left, they're good. They have the mainstream media. They have it. They have the movie industry. They have television. It is what it is. They have it. We could have our own thing on the internet. Us. Like I said, we've been the Compound Media on Pat Dixon's show. Have Mercedes Carrera on. We'll go, on over here. We talk to Ralph on the Ralph Report. We'll talk to this website, and Halsey News. And I don't know if we can overcome the billions of dollars, but fuck, man.
Hey,
something needs to be done.
A new contributor while we're on the air.
What?
We'll go over it after the show. I just wanted to tease a little bit.
Do I even know about this?
No.
Oh, okay.
It just happened.
A new contributor?
Yes.
Just happened?
Just happened.
All right. Is it Kathy Griffin?
Yes.
She wants to make up for holding a severed head of Donald Trump, so she wants to write for a small right-wing website. I hear you. That's what I would do.
So he's staying, but even getting word from a vice president at Fox News 2 days in a row, I was still paranoid.
Right.
I don't trust the media. It's sad. I don't know if you still had a little bit of paranoia too. What do you think?
Well, what you just wrote me about The Secret kind of surprised me, to be honest with you. So I'm still like, what? Wait till we announce this one. This one's pretty interesting.
Well, let's iron some stuff out first.
Yeah. Of course. We will iron all the ironing that needs to be ironed.
I was like, wait, why is there silence? Shock.
Yeah, no, I was just more surprised. I'm like, oh, okay, that was random.
Yeah.
Anyway, people are like, what are they talking about? This is a really good tease. Speaking, so I mean, if we're gonna tease and plug or whatever, plug a butt, man. I am so tired right now. I'm in so much pain today. But we have a affiliate announcement. Affiliate announcement. This Friday, June 2nd, 9 a.m. on a special episode of Halsey Live, Halsey English, with co-host Stephanie McWilliams. We'll be interviewing Jada Franson. She's the deputy leader of Britain First. For the second time, Jada will be there to talk about Islam, Britain, and how to confront the madness that is, invading their shores over in the UK. So that should be interesting. I mean, people have probably seen Britain First, their videos of them marching through the streets, and they're like, "Oi, so you're gonna do you're gonna do one of those patrols for the Islamic law? We're gonna do a Christian law patrol. How about that then?" And they just got like these hooligan-looking people walking behind the Muslims. Sharia. You're gonna do your Sharia law patrol. We're gonna do a Christian law patrol. How about that then? How about them apples?
Tommy Robinson.
Well, the Britain First. Now, Tommy Robinson, he was part of the English Defense League. I don't know where these groups split off. Tommy Robinson, I think, is working for Rebel Media now.
They just sounded a little bit like him.
In Canada. I'm Tommy Robinson, and if you come up to me and you tweet threats, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to knock you about.
Knock you about.
This is like an extra special, accent episode.
Fucking New Media Central International.
New Media Central International, where we hire the greatest British warriors to knock people about the head. I don't care. How you Scottish? I can't do Scottish at all. Well, that's Scottish. You like barely move your mouth, right?
Fucking funny.
I don't know. It's a Britain voice. Apparently, it's the 1890s in London. They're begging for porridge. Brave voice, please second. I have some more, and if you give me more, I'll knock you in the head.
I don't know why that makes me laugh.
That was a good read.
Yeah, man.
So Friday, June 2nd, you get the not hear that at 9 a.m. Or if you liked it, you will hear that. Halsey Live. We'll put up the links and stuff. Is there anything else?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you something.
What's that?
So, what updates do you have on the hashtag dog right?
Dog right? Let's see. The dog right is a group of people that like dogs on the right. That's my update. Everything else is super secret.
Okay, so you can't say how this started or anything?
No, it started. It was a totally organic movement of a bunch of people that like dogs, and they said, "Hey, let's talk about dogs." And so, if you follow the hashtag dog right on Twitter, you'll find out more.
There you go.
But everything else right now is a little on the hush hush. Well, there's nothing to be hush about. It's a bunch of people that like dogs. That's it is.
No, I just didn't know. If you like had a
or is there?
If you could, talk about maybe like a brief history, but I guess it's a lot, more simpler than I thought.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the briefest. People like dogs.
Sounds good to me.
Well, there was one.
Except
that was a little bit more complicated. I'm echoing in my ears again for some reason, of course. Anyway, it's Nipplegate. Nipplegate.
Another.
You saw this that one Trump troll, William Legate.
I hated
the what?
I hated that guy.
Yeah, always he would Donald Trump or the POTUS or whatever would tweet something. He'd pop up like one of the first 5 tweets underneath.
So
just waiting, maybe it was an algorithm bot thing, or maybe he just would get the alerts and be like, copy paste real quick. It's spam.
Sad to be honest.
Literally what, thousands of tweets at the president?
Yeah.
Insane. Insane. Well, apparently, a bunch of people. This is the dumbest reason to get off Twitter.
I know.
I don't. This can't be the reason why he got off Twitter, but it sounds funny. That there was a leaked photo of him having huge salami nipples, and people were sending them to him. So then he deleted his account. That's the narrative I want to believe.
Yeah, but did he really? Is that really his nipples?
No, it's photoshopped. His nipples are not look like that, but it's funny. And then he got all angry, and then he changed his username to his phone number, and then he put his address up and said the FBI was involved because people were sending him his family hate messages. And then his dad started disowning him on Twitter, saying that we don't want anything to do with him and what he does. So he got yelled at by his dad. Oh, Dad, I'm gonna take it on my Twitter.
I don't even have anything to say about that picture that I have up right now. It doesn't look shopped. It just looks.
No, it is. It is. It definitely is. But it's funny. And now, he sent out a challenge to 4chan several days ago, saying "I own you" or some shit like that in a tweet. 4D chess or something. And now he's gone. 4D chess, his account's gone, and his dad yelled at him on Twitter for the world to see. So,
how old is he?
I don't know. It says Teal Fellowship, 2013. So that's 4 years ago. So he's in his early 20s.
Now, if this happened to you, if like some old picture of you popped up and somebody made your nipples look bigger, wouldn't you just laugh about it and be like, "You assholes"?
I would like, what is this? Well, if it was the left doing it, I don't know. I guess I would just laugh and just move along. I wouldn't change my username to my phone number and tell people to call me, and then when people call me, tell people that they're being reported to the FBI. I've done, I'm not, it's a big secret, but I've had to work with the FBI in the past on a thing to do with actual terrorism. It was an actual legit thing, and they usually want you to be secretive when they're investigating. From my experience, I talked to the agent. He was like, "Don't tell anybody. Blah, 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 blah. Delete, the call. You want anyone to know none."
So he was basically bluffing. People called his bluff, and he ran away.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way Hey, first, if he's in LA, he circumvents the LAPD and goes right to the FBI. That doesn't make sense. The FBI is analyzing the phone calls. What does that even mean? And the FBI doesn't want you telling people that they're analyzing phone calls.
They're analyzing my nipples to see if Photoshopped.
The circumference is way too big. They look more like gunshot wounds. We might have to take him to the hospital.
Fucking loser.
So yeah, Nipplegate done. Well, he'll probably come back in another, I don't know, maybe under his name, because his name is still there. I thought it was gone, but it's still there as being deleted. Like, you can't take his name. Oh, I tried. I'm
sure a lot of people did, man.
Let me see. What was it? Oh, yeah. One of the new contributors on our site with an article about Powerpuff Girls. You see this? Because the Powerpuff Girls was this like cartoon from the 90s. Right?
I'm in the loop on that one. I don't know how that started, I don't know if maybe you can better explain it than I can.
I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't watch Powerpuff Girls. I just remember it was a cartoon in the 90s that they redid. And apparently, they're like teenage girls, like 13 years old apparently. And one of the writers inserted himself as one of the little girl's love interests. It was kind of fucking creepy.
I'll say.
If you go to newmediacentral.net, it's the article titled "Creepy Writer for Powerpuff Girls Inserts Character of Himself as Little Girl's Love Interest." So exactly what I just said.
That's fucking horrible.
Isn't it?
This. Let's see. Do they have his name up here? George. Wait. Let's see. Grace Craft. No, that's not the person's name. What the hell?
Did you break the website, Sal?
Yes.
Because nothing's coming up on the slider now.
Oh no, there's an issue right now.
Gosh, Sal, we're gonna tell people to go to the website if they can't go to the website.
Yeah, so the writer's name is Jake Goldman.
No, is it?
Well,
because that would feel. Oh man.
No, wait. Okay, listen to the names. So the supporting character on the Powerpuff Girls, Jared Shapiro, appears to be modeled after Jake Goldman, who is one of the writers of the show.
Sal, has to be done. I mean, it just has to be.
So this writer put himself into the story, a grown man.
Yeah, allegedly.
And
it looks pretty obvious, to be honest.
And he made himself look like a male sports model, shirtless, holding the little kid, and it's just horrible.
Yeah, he got the muckles.
With a female character named Blossom. I don't even want to get into it anymore.
I don't know. It's weird. There's a bunch of just some weirdos writing children's cartoons.
True degeneracy.
Dude, I let my kids watch wholesome anime. That's it. That's all they're allowed to watch. Wholesome Japanese anime.
Is it really wholesome?
And the Lego movie. They can watch the Lego movie.
I don't know anything about anime. Should I?
No. You don't want to know.
Okay, good.
Just stay in the world we're in. Let other people who want to know about anime live in that world.
Sounds good to me.
My brother Craig used to watch a lot of anime when we were growing up. Now he has a Japanese wife, so that's what happens. You watch a lot of anime growing up, you get a Japanese wife, apparently. He's gonna listen to me. Ooh, shut up! It's not funny. It's fun. Let's see. Well, it's been 2 hours. Let's fucking call it.
I was just about to say we've been on for over 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, Mercedes was awesome, and that zinged by, and then yelling about Bernie Sanders and.
Oh, that was friggin' fun.
Star Child.
How about Bernie Sanders meets Star Child?
I don't even know how you would start that. Because he's a socialist, but Star Child likes Che Guevara, so I don't even know where to go with that. Let's not do that now. Let's just close it because my throat is killing me.
All right, man. Let's do this.
So, play the music. All right, yeah. So, thank you everyone for listening. Make sure you take 10 seconds to give us 5 stars on iTunes. The link's in the description, and it's on our website and all that stuff. It helps us spread our message of the patriarchy. New Media Central is an independent network of people. It's just all over the place now, so I'm not even gonna bother saying what's in the rest of the read. It's all over the place, and we are free of independent PAC and mainstream media influence. So we appreciate any help that you can give. There's a PayPal donate button on the front page. So give $3 more a month, or $3 more, or give anything. And I'll send you a PDF copy of my book, Broken. It's a book on religious poetry that I wrote. So check that out on Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Nook, hard copy if you're old school. Broken. Follow me on Twitter at E&D Erickson. Follow the show at Patriarchy Show. Follow Sal at NMC. And follow the entire network at New Media Central as we expand and grow and add more awesome content. And I want to talk about heartofmarine.org. We discussed it with Mercedes. Heartofmarine.org. The Heart of a Marine Foundation is a non-profit organization that provides comfort, support, financial assistance, and educational resources to improve the quality of life of military personnel in all branches of the United States Armed Forces, including veterans and their families. heartofmarine.org. Again, don't be caught naked on the internet and doing naughty things. Get a VPN, get protected, get encrypted. Link again on the website in the description through VPN Unlimited. I think that's it, Sal.
That's it.
I think we promoted and shilled and shucked and jived, and overall it was a good show.
I agree.
I think so. And again, I want to thank Mercedes Carrera for coming on. You can follow her on Twitter at the Mercedes XXX or XXX, and Jack Smith at Mr. Jack Smith. What is this, Insane Clown Posse?
It's the Wolf Pack.
Oh, I don't know.
I want to see if you knew what that was.
It's been 100 years. So let's get the fuck out. All right, hang up. Bye. Thank you. See you maybe next week if I'm alive.
We're out.